Double checking, triple checking, not catching me this time. Oh no, no. We have audio. Mic is working. Hello, everybody. Welcome to DanPrattles, the stream that contains adult language and childish behavior. My name is Dan. Welcome. Welcome to this stream where I am on this ferry, this gondola that is taking you down this stream of senselessness. And you are more than welcome to join as we go, well, anywhere the stream takes us. Just going with the flow, keeping it nice and easy. If it is your first time here, welcome. Welcome, welcome. If you're returning, also welcome. All are welcome. Everyone's welcome. I did not turn my notifications off. Balls, bugger, horror. I know exactly what that email is. A very conscientious YouTube telling me that I'm streaming now. Thanks, YouTube. Right in the middle of my preamble. Right in the middle. But regardless of all that, hello. Glad to have you aboard. What's happening today? What's going on? I don't know. Well, that's not entirely true. Some things are certainties. Some things can be predicted as to what's happening today. Numero the uno, we are continuing, we are soldiering on with our misadventures here in Conan Exiles. Here's our main man, our mainest of men, Sweaty Boatman. You know, we've got some iron going, and he is looking mighty, mighty prepped for the savagery of this exiled land. So we're going to be playing a little Conan Exiles. As is my wont with these streams, with these like strange forays into senselessness and randomness, I do often have a little bit of a story planned for each of my streams, a little bit of a banter topic, a little bit of a thing to share with you, things that's on my mind, things that I've noticed, things that's come across my path, my trajectory in life that I want to share with you. So I hope you stick around for that. Usually the banter topic, the story, kicks off at about the 10-15 minute mark. One day when I finally figured out how YouTube actually works, I'll put timestamps in. But until then, stick with me, bro. We'll get there. We'll get there. But for now, let's do a quick recap on where we are with Sweaty Boatman here and what's going on in the Conan Exile lands. Got iron tools, plus got an iron sword. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Beautiful, magnificent. Hey, look at that. Reminiscent of something, I think. Guts theme intensifies. Look at that beauty. Hey, look how he's standing even there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Excellente. Very handy for murder, which is a bit of a theme for this game. Just letting you know. All right, let's check how things are going. We have extended the abode. That's right. The house is a touch bigger, which means we can put some more goodies inside. I'm going to decorate this thing a little bit. Not too much, because as soon as I find a more permanent location, something that resonates me in terms of property, I am going to set up roots, and there, I will build my manse, my final home. Yes. Stick around. It's going to be epic. Well, hopefully. I don't know. All right. Let's see how our stream is looking. It's holding. It's looking a little bit streamy, a little bit dribbly, a little bit flowy, but yeah, we've got this going. We've got this going on. Let's see what happens now. Hey, I think numero the uno is I think I smelted some iron. He who smelt it, dealt it. Ho, 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 ho. And I've got it in my bench over here to turn into more tools and more weapons, should the need arise. But I think at this juncture, we need to focus on defense. So I'm going to be digging into a bit of armor as an option. There we go. Armor. Handy for staying alive. Because you never know when some brigand is going to try and jump you and just try to rob you of your HP. Rude. Very rude. Don't recommend it. Alrighty. In order for us to facilitate the creating of armor... Hang on. Well, I've got some raw meat in my inventory. Oh no! Conan, you have abandoned me! Ah! What's this? Pack file corrupt or tampered with. Oh no! No! Is that the stream gone, guys? Is that the stream gone? I hope not. God. Damn. Balls bugger. Alright. I am going to get back into Conan. I am not going to be deterred here. I refuse to be deterred. Conan, you will not get the better of me. I will get back into the stream, and I will get this stream going streamily. Something like that. Alright, let's launch back in. Damn it! It's so hard to try and do on the job when the software just doesn't want to play along. Typical. Typical, typical. Be that as it may. I hope everybody out there is having exceptional days. I hope everyone's having a wonderful time. Nobody's logged onto the stream yet, so maybe I can quickly get on before anyone notices. Haha! And if you're watching the replay, you can be like, ho 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 ho. I can just skip to the part where we're back in the game. Ah, boy. Bugger nuts. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Come on, Conan. Don't disappoint me. Don't you dare disappoint me. Go through a little bit of that intro again. All right. Yes, 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 yes. The thing about the intro is another strike again. Oh, unreal how loud that was in my ears. Another strike against. Thank you, NVIDIA. Another strike against this game is how loud the intro is and how unskippable it is, because for some reason you can't escape through it, and you just have to go through the intro.
First, they took your family and your riches.
They took your family and your bitches.
Then they took your health and your pride.
Not going to joke about pride. Not to be joked about.
Finally, they left you to die.
Yes, 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 yes. Come on. More cold to the PC. More cold. Yeah.
What will
Manly
you
chest.
do, exile, when there is nothing left but to live or die?
That steely look. Come on, Conan. Also, for some reason, the volume controls don't apply to the intro. Sorry about that break in transmission, ladies and gentlemen. I assure you, it will probably happen again. This game is, yeah, this game. I love it, and I hate it. As I've said numerous times, Conan Exiles is a flawed masterpiece. I enjoy playing it immensely, but boy, oh boy, it is janky as hell. If it bombs out again, I will make some sort of plan. I might pivot to a different game if Conan Exiles is not stream friendly. Hopefully it holds. It's behaved itself up until now, so hoping, praying that eventually it'll pull itself towards itself. At the very least, stick around for today's story, because I've got a good one. I'm keeping an eye on the time. I'm trying to, wait until the 10-15 minute mark before I get into the story, because I've got maybe some stragglers walk in. Maybe there's always somebody late at the back of the auditorium that you have to let them come in. And also, I like a little bit of foreplay. I like to lube up before we get to the real fun stuff. Oh yeah. So stick around. It's going to be a fun story. It's a bit different today, the little preamble, the musing, the story time that I have in mind, because it's drawn from a very different well that I usually do. Usually my penchant is to talk about literature or movies and film and general entertainment, but this story is different, because this story comes from my own life, my own personal experiences. And I think it's a story worth telling. Anyway, look at that. Conan behaving itself. All right. keeping itself together. Thank goodness. All right. Oh, don't you. All right. Just quick check of the stream. Checky stream. All right. That looks okay. All right. Okay. What were we doing in the game? I don't know. Can't think of anything. Boom. Eye on the time. Eye on my things. I'll give it about 5 minutes before I get into today's tale. Regale you with a story from my own life, instead of drawing from other sources. Because I have been encouraged, for better or worse, by some appreciators of the stream, to talk a little bit about myself as well. Can't imagine why you want to hear about moi, but we're going to give this a try. And if indeed there is interest, I'll delve into my past a bit more and see if there's any other interesting bits and bobs that I can regale you with. All right. Seems to be something happening over here. What's going on over here? All right, got some baby shellbacks. Got some eggs. Got some dead things. Don't mind me, just pinching your eggs. You know when it all fell apart? It's when I tried to cook that meat. I think Conan Exiles is vegan and got all militant with me and said, "No! How dare you have meat?" Either that, or it's in the opposite direction and goes, "No! If you're a man, you'll eat that meat raw. How dare you? How dare you try and cook your meat? I will eat your meat." Sippy water, sippy water. Delicious. Fresh from the bottle to my glass. I want to nip across to this side over there. Because I just want to have a look up top there. It looks like there's something interesting going up that hill. I just want to have a quick peekaboo. See if there's anything worth reporting back on. Apologies in advance if I'm a little hoarse. Lots of recording last night. Sure. Got some fun stuff on the way, guys. Lots of fun stuff coming up. Fans of various things. I'm not going to name names, but specifically fans of things that are particularly patient and have been waiting for a new installment or something. Yes, that is on its way. The audio is done, or at least the narration has been done. So stick around, there's things on its way. Gonna grab some plant fiber, some berries. Very nice, very good. Have a quick looky-loo up there. Quick looky-loo. Hello, wee thing. Oh! I picked it up. Is that a thing now? It's a fawn. Baby animal captured in the wild. Cute. Oh, that's nice and all, but you know what? I'm just not ready for a relationship with a fawn. I can't right now. I can't be seeing any fawns, because right now I need to see other people. Silly. I think I have had a look here. There's a cave over there that looks interesting. There's that kudu. I remember you, kudu. Not going to get up in your grill. I think I'm just going to head on back. It's nearly 50 minutes into the stream. In spite of that break in transmission, I intend to stick to what I said and get into the amble at about 15 minutes. Because I'm a man of my word. Yeah. So, for today's story, I need to set the scene. I live in one of the most amazing countries in the world. Beautiful, sunny South Africa. That being said, though, it is a country that, while it has a lot going for it, there are a lot of challenges here. And obviously, a very, very unfortunate past. And sometimes that past comes to haunt us a little bit. Sometimes we find ourselves in the presence of challenges that are new, and we just have to find a way to soldier on. I'm gonna park Sweaty Boatman for a while. Give him a snack, and so I can get on with my mumbling and jumbling here. So South Africa is, I'd call it a land of extremes, where there is absolute beauty, but yet incredible ugliness as well. There is a massive amount of poverty, unemployment, and that sadly goes hand in hand with a significant amount of crime in the country. Sad, but it's true. But we try and do what we can to, make the most of it. And it's certainly not all doom and gloom. I mean, there is so much going for this country. There's so much potential, so many possibilities. And while there are a lot of people that have kind of written the country off and South Africa's in the toilet, there's a lot of us like, no, we're going to stick it out, try and make it work. Do what we can. And I kind of fall into that foolish optimism camp. So this story takes place a couple of years back in this very home where I was still working a day job and I had a work laptop. And it wasn't the best laptop in the world, but it was okay, and I kept it next to my bed at night. And this was in the middle of summer, sweltering heat as we've had recently. So my wife and I, when we sleep upstairs, we generally keep the windows open. But we figure we're good, we're okay, because it's a story up and we're behind a security wall. It's okay to leave a window open. Or so we thought. Because in one particular night, in the middle of the night, blurry-eyed, I woke up and I'm staring around, and I wake up and I get the distinct feeling there's movement in the room, but it's not that familiar movement. When you're familiar with the movement of somebody, there's a certain shape and form and sound that a person makes that you know very well. And I'm just aware there's someone moving in the bedroom that isn't my wife. And in the darkness, I kind of like sit up and I see this guy in our room, middle of the night. He's got my laptop under one hand and my wife's phone in the other. And I can see there's also something else in his hand with the laptop. It's a strange thing being in a situation like that. You often hear of the 3 responses that an individual has in such a testing situation, where it's either fight, flight, or freeze. And I saw this guy in my room, and I would have thought under normal circumstances, I am not the most courageous sort. I would either freeze or run. But I don't know what happened, because I sat up in bed and saw this guy, and I chose violence. I don't know why. I sat up, and I see this guy in my room. Maybe it's because it's my wife that was sleeping next to me in the same bed in this bedroom. My Dan Jr. was quite young at that stage, and he's in the next room, and he's in the house as well. I see this guy, and I enter tiger mode. And it's like my brain just goes, it just enters the state. I'm like, I just stand up and I see this guy, and he's on the other end of the bed. I'm kind of like almost half blocking him from the window that he has just come in, which I can see. And this is a small sash window. It's like a little bigger than a letterbox. And I see this guy, and I just sort of become non-verbal. I kind of just see him, and I go, hey, hey, hey. He drops the laptop. Still got my wife's phone in his hand. I can see he's got something else in his other hand. Runs around me. Okay, I'm busy struggling to get out of bed. And just dives through the sash window, this like tiny letterbox window, out into our balcony. That's a story off the ground. And I see this all play out. And I don't know what comes over me. But I jump out of bed and dive out the window after him and tackle him on our patio, our little, this like 1-story up patio that we have. It's basically a balcony with a little bit of a rail guard. And there I am, flailing on the ground with this guy, like trying to stand up, and he's like, wrestling around me. At this point, I can hear my wife's waking up. Now here's the thing. Fine and well, following this guy out the window, diving out the window after him, tackling him on, this like 1-story patio, out on this balcony. But as I mentioned, this is Africa, and it's hot as hell in summer. And in the middle of summer, my wife and I do not have a stitch of clothing on us when we sleep at night. I am naked as the day I am born. Like wrestling this guy, eventually standing up, and I've sort of got him by the lapels of his hoodie. And I can see he's got like socks on his hands, because I think he was trying to hide his fingerprints. And I can see he's got my wife's cell phone in one hand and a screwdriver in the other, which is obviously how he managed to pry the window open entirely, because it can only hinge so high, and he managed to hoist it completely open. And he's flailing at me with this screwdriver, and I'm fighting him buck naked. Not a stitch of clothing on me. I'm fighting out. I'm coming at him 3-weapon style. It's like, eventually, my wife gets the slidey door open, that goes onto the balcony, so that she can just walk out, no window diving tackle required. And she pulls it open, and I just hear her come out, and she's looking at this guy, and she goes, "Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off!" But he can't fuck off, because I've got him by the lapels, and I've kind of picked him up, and I've put him up against the wall, and I'm fighting him, and I'm just trying to wrestle this guy, and and I'm just, I don't know, I'm not thinking at this point, because I'm still just non-vocal. I'm just like, hey, hey, hey. I'm buck naked on my balcony doing a midnight rendition of Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll Part 2. Hey! Oh, I can hear my wife go back into the house, because she disappears, and I'm wrestling this guy, and it's more like flapping, really. He's trying to get free, and he's slapping at me, I'm slapping at him. Every now and again I get a little bit of chisao going, a little bit of bong lap. Out comes an elbow. I dished it out, eh? But most of it was actually a little embarrassing, notwithstanding the fact that my junk was in the breeze. But and I hear my wife disappear into the house, and she's I can hear she's moving around, because I can hear her almost like echolocation, because she's just going, "Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off." So I can get an idea of where she is, and eventually she comes back onto the balcony, where I'm standing, and I'm expecting her to have some sort of weapon, because I've kind of got this guy by by his hoodie, and I'm kind of trying to bang him against the wall, and he's trying to get free, because he obviously just wants to dive over the balcony and get out the complex. And I see she's come back with our 50 kg bull mastiff dog, who frankly, in a situation like this, is about as useful as syphilis, because this dog is a big goof. She looks impressive. She's a big bull mastiff, but she takes one look at Dad cuddling this guy and goes, "Oh, this new person is friend-shaped." And she comes up and starts sniffing at him. And I'm like, hey, hey. And this guy's trying to get away. And I can see in that moment that as soon as he saw the dog, this guy, he was terrified. Big Lizzie wasn't going to do a damn thing to him, but he sees this like massive bull mastiff dog, with slobbering jowls coming towards him. My wife behind, also not a stitch of clothing on her. She hasn't bothered to put any clothing. She's on the balcony as well, and she's fuck off. And I'm like, hey, hey. And here comes this big dog. And this guy looked terrified. And I don't know, in that moment, it's like my brain just snapped back. It's like, tiger brain turned off, that lizard brain disengaged. And I was like, I took a little step, like a little move back. And I actually looked at this guy, actually got a proper look at him. And he was just a kid, barely 20 years old, terrified out of his mind at these crazy suburbanites, no frigging clothes on, wrestling him with this massive dog. And it's like my brain kind of was like, and just like taking that little step back, and my grip loosened a bit. And that was all he needed. He dropped the phone, he dropped the screwdriver, and he kind of did this sort of like whoop thing where he like put his hands in the air and just like slipped out of his hoodie and just rolled on the ground, dived over the railing, jumped onto the vibratcrete wall that separates me from my neighbor. I mean, it's like an inch wide. This thing is like a tightrope. And he jumped and he landed and he ran on that thing like a highway. He was like Jesus on the water. He was like, hello, my disciples, good day for fishing. Over the security wall, down the street, couldn't see him for lines. He was gone in like seconds. And there I am holding his hoodie with my wife's phone on the ground and these, screwdriver like lying on the ground next to it. And I kind of like look at my wife, and she looks at me, and she looks down and looks back at me, and then she goes, "You're bleeding." And I was like, "What? Wait, what?" And I touched the side of my head, and all along my back. I didn't feel it at all in the moment. He got me a good shot along the back of the head here, and to this day I still got scars along my back, just a little above just between my collarbones. Fortunately, and also unfortunately, screwdriver was blunt as hell. But yeah, eventually my senses kind of came back to me, and I was like, "Why is it so cold?" Oh, boosh! Back into the bedroom, door closed. Call the cops. Cops came, took away the screwdriver and the hoodie as evidence. We made a report. We, gave a statement, but nothing really came of it. He didn't steal anything. And the thing is, he left worse off because he came thinking he could take my laptop and my wife's phone. And I got his hoodie and screwdriver. So wah. I won. But in hindsight of it all, it was crazy. The upshot of it being is that as the evening went, we couldn't go back to sleep after that. And, while my wife was making me a cup of tea, and she was like saying to me, "Can't believe you did all of that just for my phone." And I was like, "Baby, that belongs to you, and that guy ain't taking anything from you. I'm not letting anyone take anything from you. Not in my house. That's yours. You don't deserve to lose it." The truth of the matter is that doing a SIM swap for a stolen SIM card in this country is an absolute ball ache, and I knew I'd be fucking stuck with it. And there was no ways I was going through that. So yes, that is the story, my capers, my brush with criminality, fighting crime with my dick in the breeze. I don't know if there's any lesson to be learned from that story. I don't know if there's any greater gain from you knowing it. But now you do. Is there a lesson to learn? Is there a takeaway? I think there is. I think there is, actually. Now that I actually apply my mind and disengage a lizard brain. Life is a very strange place. And you often find yourself in situations where you're under threat. But in that moment of me taking a little step back from that guy and realizing he was a youngster and realizing how terrified he was and realizing it was just me holding on to him. He couldn't get away because I was holding on to him. Even when he had dropped the phone, even when he had dropped the screwdriver and had nothing of mine. And there was this moment. There was this moment where he had jumped over the railing and he was going across that vibrocrite wall, where he was balancing for his life. Where it would have been the easiest thing for me to just reach forward and push him. And he would have ended up in the concrete of the neighbor's drained pool. Could have killed him. Definitely would have broken a limb. But even in that moment, I was not prepared to do that to him, in spite of him coming into my house. And now that's not me like straining my arm, patting myself on the back, saying what a good person I am. It's just about having the context of the situation and realizing, hang on, the danger is done. We don't need to take it any further. And this is not like in the US, where if something like where it's overly litigious and that guy could have sued me or anything like that. No, I mean, South Africa's a bit of the Wild West when it comes to that. The cops would have come and seen this poor broken dude on the ground and they would have gone, oh, good job, eh? But it's not worth it because probably the only reason why that guy was in my house in the first place was because he probably had nothing. And that terror on his face, that look of abject fear, was part and parcel of the desperation that he must have had in order to do such a thing. I don't think he wanted to hurt us. That's not always the case, though. Not always the case. The world can be a cruel and dangerous place. But in that scenario, I think I had enough of my faculties to realize that it wasn't worth hurting this guy any more than was necessary. I didn't need to punish him to that extent. And I think that's something... I think that's some good that I got out of that. And like a sort of personal growth thing. Because I'm so tedious, guys. I'm always one of those kind of guys that, okay, so something shit's happened. What can we get out of this that's good? And I think that's the good. I think that's the good. Ooh, I'm taking a chance. I'm cooking that meat. Hopefully the game doesn't bomb. Be that as it may, I am curious to hear if anybody else has had similar brushes, anybody else has got similar experiences, any thoughts on what I just said. Because it took me a very long time to sort of pass it out, to come to terms with what all happened, because it's bizarre. It's bizarre when you think about it. Me naked as Adam and Eve fighting this guy on my balcony. It's crazy. But you know what? Made for a pretty good story, right? We will resume our regular viewing tomorrow, everyone. I'll have a more contemporary topic, but I thought I'd get that one out into the ether. Because I thought it was worth sharing. And I don't want to moralize it. I don't want to say, well, the takeaway from this is you need to be good. No, no, no. But it is nice to know that you can experience something like that and look internally a little bit. Because what else are you going to do? All right. Sure. Enough of that. Enough of this. Playing a little bit of Conan Exiles, aren't we? That we are. Get some bark. Dry wood. That's going to be a thing at some point, I believe. I'm going to add that to our collection. Yes. Yes. Quick check on the stream. Checky stream, checky stream, checky stream. Stream is holding. We are 35 minutes, 36 minutes into the stream. Let's take it nice and chill for the next 24. Eh? The irony being, what made me think of that story was actually this bloody game. Because when the settings are on, when you lose your kit, you're in the buff. Like, you know, dicks out for Hanuman. And you've got to run back to your body. And often you need to fight off some nasties. So plenty is the time that my Conan Exiles character has been in the breeze, having to fight for what's his. Silliness, really. Absolute silliness. I might end it a little early today, because I do have a touch of work to do. I know. We do have a commitment, and it's a commitment I take very seriously. But you know what? Daddy needs to get the bag. All right. Oh, how's my framing? I feel like I'm a little off-center today. All right. Doesn't matter. Gives me a bit of a lure if I'm a little askance. Okay. Let's have a look at our chronologies and see if we can get ourselves a little bit of armor. Look at that. Look at that. Available to us now. Armor. Ooh, armor. New journey unlocked. It's all about the journey, guys. Forget about the destination. It's all about the journey. All right. We can make ourselves some defensible apparel, so as to better endure the slings and arrows of outrageous exiles. I am inclined to put the armorer's bench inside, though. I think. I just feel that requires a bit of covering. Because, you know, armorer's bench. Stone, wood, twine. All right. I love this, by the way. I love the fact that it shows you... Oh, no, you're short on this. Didn't in the past, you know. Cheeky. All right. Plenty of stone. Looking good. Not a lot of wood. Looking less good. Let's go and lumberjack a bit. Starting with these ones over here. Although... I always regret chopping down the palm trees on my island. I feel as if I make it a bit too sparse. Let's instead hop over here. Hopefully there are no belligerents. I think we're good. Good for wood. Or something like that. I don't know. Barley worm. Tasty. Fast to cook, good to eat. Yum yum. Alright, how are we doing for wood? I'm gonna get my usual 250. 250? Yeah. Now. Oh, I only needed a hundo. All right. That's not too bad. You know what I am going to build? You know what I am going to build? And this is going to come in handy for my perpetual quest for bush. You can get a little scythe going there. Hey, sleepy dog. Whew, I think I've been crop dusted. Oh, more iron. It never ends, you know. Never ends. So demanding, this game. Just wants more and more and more from me. Well, you know what? Fine. I'll grab some iron, get myself a scythe, and then I can get myself plenty of plant fiber. Let's do that. Pinch an egg. Oh! Paid the price for my pilfery. I know there's iron over now, so I am going to just hop across. Aggro those hyenas. And get that iron. Look at that iron. Ready for the picking. Oh, that stamina doesn't take you far, but that's more than half his bar gone, so you know what. Ouchie. Oh, you're in trouble now. That's it. Hyena? Hyena. Ha ha! Stupid. Ah. Oh, that's a topic for conversation. Hyenas. Weird creatures. Curious creatures. Yeah. Maybe that's a topic for conversation. We can do a deep dive into hyenas and how peculiar they are. Yeah, why not? Why not? Leave your recommendations for a topic to discuss in the comments down below. Along with liking and subscribing. I've changed my viewpoint on that. If you want to like and subscribe, I will allow it. Come on, there's more iron here somewhere. Surely. Don't call me Shirley. Oh, sweaty boatman, I don't think there's iron here. Alas, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What have we here? Oh. Well, how utterly and completely and unequivocally disappointing. But you know what, guys? You know what? I think that is a sign. I am going to run a repair on Conan Exiles tonight to make sure that this does not happen again. It will happen again. Game is buggy as hell, but I still love it. But we can put a pin in it for it today. And we can leave things off right there. I hope you enjoyed story time. It was a bit of a weird one, I know. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta mix things up a little bit. Thank you for joining me on this journey today on DanPrattles. And it is indeed Friday today. So have fantastic weekends. Look after yourselves. And I will see you all on Monday, 1 p.m. South African time, where we'll be doing this all again. Maybe there's something to talk about, maybe not. But join me. You're always welcome. Until then, as they say,